certainly you could do. Each different amino acid that gets added to a protein multiplies, the possibilities multiply by 20 every time. So the amount of calculation you'd have to do to be able to predict what kind of changes you could make based on manipulating proteins gets harder and harder. I think in that way biology will be expanding a pace of processing power in computers, and the more we're able to calculate and make predictions about proteins, the further we'll be able to take them with the biological technology. Yes.
All right, one more quick question.
Okay, great.
I know there are
And
only
20
4
seconds for the sound.
Oh, okay. So just whose business is ethics?
Whose business is ethics? I mean, so who should be thinking about ethics in terms of synthetic biology? Well, there's certainly different spheres of ethics, right? And as ethics is separate from safety, that raises different concerns. In terms of feeling sorry for bacteria, I sleep well at night. I'm okay with being rotten. I go out and have a steak burrito. I should be okay with doing horrible things to bacteria. Little cute mice. I'm even okay with little cute mice being worked on in order to make drugs that help people. And that's a sort of a sad part of biological ethics. But in terms of whether it's ethical to tinker with bacteria, I'm okay with it. But in terms of whether it's safe, that's a much tougher question to answer. And so if we mess with bacteria that have antibiotic resistance every single day, right? Every one of these plates has got antibiotic resistant bacteria on it, and they're supposed to go in our garbage can, and they do, and so on. But the notion, these questions about bioremediation, right? You turn a bacterium loose in the environment to go munch on a toxin to get rid of it. You've basically opened the stable, and whatever runs out is now free to compete with everything that was there naturally, and won't necessarily obey your command unless you can engineer a command for it to obey later, which is conceivable. But yeah, in terms of who's responsible for whether things are safe, I guess I would say that certainly the biologist has to demonstrate some safety, but I don't know what the laws are, right? Certainly the government should care that genetically modified organisms are demonstrated to be safe. And in terms of where the burden of proof is, I think in America the burden of proof is on the government to show things that aren't safe. In Europe, they're a little more touchy about such things, and they don't like their Doritos being made out of genetically modified organisms. So they require the burden of proof be put on the companies that make the genetically modified organisms. But whether, in terms of whether that should be, I don't know.
All right. And we're just going to take this out of the room.
Okay, great. Do I get to watch this sometime? Oh, sorry. Guys, quiet.
I don't think so either. Okay. That's good. What else am I supposed to do? Oh, I have
They're being,
this.
I give you how much template? 0.25 rating.
All right.
Phew.
0.5 hours.
Excellent.
Yay.